Hi, I'm FirahFabe. If you've been checking out my videos for the past years, I thank you for listening. And if you're just tuning in, welcome. I'm a VGM musician that plays rondalla, bass guitar, piano, and cooling tongue. So what is rondalla, you say? I'm glad you asked. No, thank you. I mean it, thank you. Thank you po. Thank you, salamat po. Rondalla, more specifically Filipino Rondalla, is a traditional music ensemble consisting of the instruments Isa, Banduria, Dalawa, Laud, Tatlo, Octavino, Apat, Gitara, at Lima, Bajo de Uñas. Do be a double bass, but there was also another version of the bass, like a double bass held like a guitar, but using a marimba-looking mallet to strike the strings. Quick history. Rondalla originated in Spain, same ensemble version with more variety instruments like flutes and violins, and then you guessed it, colonization happened in the 16th century where they gave us Jesus, occupied land, and changed up all that economic and social structure. But hey, we got some rondalla, which in pre-colonial times, we were all about them cooling tongue. That can be for a whole nother video maybe. So as I'm always holding these instruments, I'm forever reminded that I'm playing an instrument based on what we were colonized under. Now with the basic history of rondalla in mind, let's learn more about the ensemble. If we think about the SATB, or soprano, alto, tenor, bass, we can group the instruments' roles based on these ranges. The Banduria is like the soprano, the leader, ang kapitan. As you can see, it is very tiny, malait na. Aw, so cute. Similar to a guitar, but not a guitar. Maybe more similar to a mandolin. Similar parts. You got the nut, the frets, the fingerboard, tuning pegs, neck, sound hole, the body or soundboard, the bridge, and the tail. Do guitars have tails? With some sweet steel strings, using guitar strings when I change them, dreadfully changing the strings. It has labing apat strings, and the strings are in anam groups. From high to low, the string division is tatlo, 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 dalawa, dalawa, isa. When I take my plectrum, or my pick, to play the open strings from low to high, got F sharp, B, E, A, D, G. You can hear them tripled and doubled notes. Best way to remember is thinking of a 5-string bass and one more note down, as you might be able to tell that it's tuned in fourths. Luckily I play bass, so I could pretty easily transfer, except when I had to get used to reading treble clef on bass fret fingering style and having to take on lead parts. Ooh, and that is the other thing. Since the Banduria's range is in a soprano, it is usually the main melody instrument of the ensemble. Next up, and it's mainly my fave, the laud, with a whopping alto range attack and other stats. The notes tuning is basically the same, but they are an octave down from the Banduria. From usually smaller traditional pieces I've encountered, laud is hardly used. In the ensemble they could usually play the counter melody, like a call and response with the Banduria, whether it could be improvised or written down. Personally, I like to make it double or harmonize with the Banduria in order to strengthen the mids for the melody, but that's just my preference. Plus, unfortunately, part of my Banduria's tuning pegs is broken. Like, I think it was this one. Yeah, it's this one. So I've been working with a 13-string Banduria for the longest time, and that's probably why I play laud even more. If there are any Filipino Rondalla vendors that want to sponsor me, just please hit me up in my DMs. Tutulong ba? Pakiusap ba? The last instrument, and I say last because you mostly already know what a guitar and bass is, I'm sure, is the Octavino. And this is the tenor range. Same tuning as well. Although technically it is in the same range as the laud, but with its bigger body, it sounds a little fuller and more weight in the notes, giving a more subtle, deeper sound. Octavino would be more commonly used than the laud in traditional music, so the role would play similarly with counter melodies as well. And then you got the guitarra on chordal accompaniment and bass on that bass. Now let's go to the segment for the techniques and scoring for these instruments, at least with how I go about it. Oh, there's like it's like always the plane flights. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's like just flying across. I'll be on the laud because it's my fave. I'll show you the main thing the Rondalla utilizes in their arsenal of weaponry. Weaponry of arsenal? Arsenal of weapons. That's right, a speed run to carpal tunnel. The notation for how the tremolos look on paper is like this. So you have your 4 quarter notes written down with the triple slashes. And on the output, it has 8 30-second notes per quarter note. So as written, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. With half notes, it would be 16 30-second notes per half note. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Still sounds the same, just written differently, or more emphasis on what beat you want the tremolo at. And the whole notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. It really gives that beautiful shimmering effect. Because of the multiple strings of the notes, it just adds the layers to those notes shimmering. From this book, the Virtuoso Banduria by Michael Dadap, here's a small excerpt of a Visayan folk song called Dandansoy, possibly composed by Agoria Abeto or Fortunata Magispak Ledesma? Hope I said it right. That's about it with Rondalla, honestly. Not too bad, eh? So, now you are probably wondering, FirahFabe, where can I go to find some modern music that actually uses these instruments in their music? And my answer to that is, I'm not sure. If you find any, please hit me up and let me know because I would like to know myself. From what I've found so far, I've mostly seen Filipino Rondalla groups and players playing traditional folk music from various regions, from Tagalog, Ilocano, Visayan, etc., keeping the tradition alive and performing these folk songs. So I decided to do it myself. If you've been following my channel for a while, you've probably been seeing me bust out covers with these. I mainly list my covers as folk covers because of the YouTube algorithm gods and accessibility to the public, as probably not everybody will know what a Rondalla cover would mean. Now, as I shamelessly plug my latest album I just released, Forest Haven, is my third installment of original music, where I have composed an experimental mix and blend of Filipino Rondalla with orchestral rock, traditional, fusion, all those genres. I'll add a card above to my video teaser for it, and I'll also add it in the description below. Available on Bandcamp, Spotify, iTunes, or Apple Music, Deezer, all that good stuff streaming. One more thing. I built a website at learnfilipinorondalia.netfly.app that basically covers what I showed in this video and more, along with a Rondalla cheat sheet PDF for composing and arranging purposes for these instruments, which I'll provide a link in the description below. Please write music for me. Please, please, please. Okay, bye.